Hi, how's everybody doing today? I thought that I want to do a couple bourbon, well, actually whiskey reviews and tastings, some blinds, maybe whatever, you know, couple different drinks. But I thought I'd start out with bourbon. Thought I'd start with one that's, to me, it's a classic way to get into bourbon. If you're if you're interested in bourbon, or even if you've been drinking bourbon but wonder about the different um, styles of bourbon. Okay, the benchmark series kind of has a little bit and all that in every wheelhouse. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we'll go through. I'm going to taste each one. I'm not doing it blind because you go all the way from an 80 proof up to 125 proof. So if you can't tell the difference between an 80 and a 125, I mean, then we're batting in the wrong cage, but it's okay. All right. So first I'm going to start with this right here, which is the original benchmark, number 8. It's 80 proof. That one right there is right here. See, it's got a nice light color. Light color just means it doesn't have a whole lot of age, maybe. Didn't spend so long in the barrel. These right here are by Buffalo Trace. Sorry, I didn't throw that part in there. All right. This right here, like I say, light color. It has a little faint caramel smell. Not a whole lot, but like I say, it's 80 proof. It does stick to the sides of the glass pretty good for inexpensive bourbon that it is, because that bottle right there I got for under $10 when I bought it. So, $10 bourbon you can't beat. So anyway, here's looking at this one. You taste some of the caramel, a little maybe burnt taste to it. Let's see. We'll go on to the next one. This right here is Top Floor. Top Floor is going to be a younger whiskey. I told you that this is a way to get into your different bourbons. Top Floor is higher up in the rack house. When it's at the top floor, higher in the rack house, the angel share goes out quicker. Angel share is when the bourbon or whiskey in general seeps through the barrel because of heat. This is, that gets all the way out and it's gone. That's the part of the bourbon the angels get to drink. Something to look forward to in the afterlife. Angel share. It is 86 proof. I wasn't sure if it was 86 or 88. So this is your top floor right here. A little darker amber, actually. But again, because it was in the heat, or I say in the heat, since it was at top, it gets a little hotter. This actually does not cling to the glass as much as the original. But anyway, scent, you get vanilla, a little bit of vanilla, like imitation vanilla maybe. The taste of this isn't a whole lot different than the original. It actually tastes a little stronger than that one, and considering it's only 3% alcohol, 6 proof, I didn't think it would be much alcohol difference. Alcohol difference in the taste. So that was surprising. And my bad, it is actually clinging to the glass some. It just doesn't. I still don't think it does quite as much as the other. But anyway. Yep. I'll stick my mouth first. You do get a little bit of caramel in there as well as vanilla. It is very faint, and I'm picking up a little char, burnt. Not as much as you would think that you would get, because the first one did have a little more char to it than this. All right. This one right here, this is the small batch. Small batch comes in at 90 proof. 90 proof is the same proof that your shelf stock Buffalo Trace is at. Okay. This is made by Buffalo Trace. Okay. And small batch means that there is X amount of barrels. Different companies are going to have different amounts of barrels to go into a small batch. You know, if you go into a small distillery, a small batch might mean we broke 5 barrels for this, 2, 3. Okay. In the case of somebody like Buffalo Trace, small batch probably means there's only 2,000 barrels in it. I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but I know that, you know, Buffalo Trace has a lot of, makes a lot of whiskey. A lot of whiskey. Small batch. You can see again, color-wise, it is darker than the top floor, which is surprising. Maybe. Maybe not. I do like the look of it. And it is starting to pick up a little bit more of a scent. You know, like I say, it's a good 90 proof. Now, I am starting to smell a little fruitiness, which a lot of people say that about Buffalo Trace products. I hear a lot of grape, okay? And I smell something that smells like fruit. A little vanilla still, but yeah, that's nice. It, like I say, it doesn't taste exactly like Buffalo Trace, but you know, if you're looking for something that you might be able to find on the shelves, if Buffalo Trace is still hard to find when you're watching this, this one right here is not a bad. I don't think that small batch is a bad replacement for Buffalo Trace. This is actually the first one of the benchmark series that I had, and because I liked it so good, that was why I wanted to buy all of them. And until just recently, I couldn't find the foolproof hardly anywhere, at least not close to MSRP. If you live in the Charleston area, close by, I was able to go into Total Wine, which I know a lot of people have trouble with the big places, but nonetheless, I was able to go into Total Wine here in Charleston, and that was where I finally found foolproof. And if I had needed to that day, I could have bought all 6. So, something to keep in mind. But most of them I have bought, you know, here and there, more of my local places. But anyway, I don't have a problem with anybody going to a big box store, saving a little money. You know, they have their buying power, and they put stuff more at MSRP than some of the little places can afford to. I don't have a problem with the little guys making some money. It saves me driving. I've got a guy right around the corner that I deal with all the time. And, you know, if I can buy there instead of driving across town to go to the other, I'm great too. All right. Right here, this is single barrel. Single barrel, as the name says, means that this comes out of a single barrel. Single barrel does mean, however, that it comes out of a single barrel and then they proof it down. This is 96 proof. 95 proof, I'm sorry. 95 proof. So it comes out of the barrel at whatever it comes out. Once they get it out, they proof it down to 95. Still picking up notes of caramel. Actually, like a little bit of cinnamon in the background. Maybe. Yeah. And still the dark fruit. All right, sorry. Next on our list, this one right here is bottled in bond. Bottled in bond is anytime you see something that's bottled in bond, you can be sure that number one is going to be 100 proof. It's going to be at least 4 years old, and it's going to be made in one season, which means you won't get, sometimes you have barrels that come from here, 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 here all year long, and they're all blended together. This right here means all these barrels came in the same season. It's 100 proof whiskey, and bottled in bond in this case is talking about this bourbon, but you can buy bottled in bond that is other whiskeys as well. Bond just means 100 proof. There are more things that it means, but 100 proof, 4 years, one season are things that were pertinent. This right here is that bonded. That right there. Nice little color to it, as you can see. Still getting darker. 4 years as opposed to the age statements that I don't see on these. Okay. I do know that this one's Kentucky straight bourbon, which means that it is at least, I believe, 2 years. I might be wrong. If I am, you can tell me in the comments. I'm good with knowing the right thing. All right. Anyway, so there's our bonded. I'm sorry, I was saying bottled in bond, but they actually call it bonded. But anyway, this starts to have some, sorry, I didn't remark about the smell, but it does have some, starting to get a little bit of leathery, tobacco-ish, a little deeper, and that deeper flavor as well, the deeper scent is all coming from higher proof. The more proof you got in there usually means that it's had more time, it's got more of the flavor and it's not watered down. Okay, you take a drink and you put it in any drink at all, and you have it in a glass of ice with ice, and you leave it sitting for hours, and you walk back to it, and it's watered down. It doesn't taste like whatever it was anymore. Okay, the higher proof, the better it tastes like what it came out of the barrel at. Yeah, anything that's bonded, most things that are bonded come out as a really good, if you see something that's bonded and you haven't tried the bourbon or whiskey before, bonded or bottled in bond is a good way to find out if they can make a good product. Maybe not all the way straight across the board, but if they can make a good bottled in bond, then you get an idea of what they can do with something else. Okay, if you get something that's young, something that might be, just a year or two old, might not have that age on it to make it taste as good as it could. But if it's got at least 4 years, and you start to get that, the flavors that we all look for in bourbon, you start getting those dark fruits, those tobaccos, those, the taste of the oak itself. When it's higher proof, you keep more of that flavor. Okay, this one right here, this is the last one on our journey. That's full proof. Okay, full proof is not barrel strength. Barrel strength means that straight out of the barrel into the bottle. If it's 137.5 proof, that's what it's going to be in the bottle. Okay, in the case of this one's 125 proof. And what that means at full proof, that means that it is the same proof that it was when it went in, when it went in the barrel. Okay? All right. Right there, like I say, each one, you're seeing a little more of it, but you start seeing those darker colors here at the bonded and the full proof. And you can see the full proof starts to get an orangey color. Okay? It's not cut back as much as some of the other ones, or all the other ones. And this one starts to get a really nice leathery tobacco kind of scent to it. earthy. It does still have fruit come through, but mm, yeah, that right there, that's what I like in a bourbon. It's something that's got kind of an earthy flavor, and fruit is great. Dark fruit, something like that. Something that's got a real, when you taste it, you know you're drinking bourbon. All right, cheers. Yeah, your foolproof is one that when you drink it, especially if you're drinking it after these, you notice the difference in proof. But that is a very nice flavor to it. Um, you know, not necessarily something you'd want to drink if you're going out to the game and drink a big glass of, maybe not. But sitting around with a, you know, with a cigar, sitting around talking to your friends, just casually sipping on something when you get into these higher proofs, that's great for that. When I have a drink at night, sometimes um, I like to go and grab something that maybe a little higher proof. Out of all these right here, my favorite is full proof, and that's just because you got a lot more flavor here. But I will still say that this right here, small batch, small batch is top floor. Bad, my bad. Look at the backside. There we go. Small batch. This one right here, small batch, is without a doubt one of the best bargains you can find in bourbon. These bourbons right here, I was saying, they're a good way to introduce yourself to the different styles. It has the definition of what these styles mean on the bottle, actually. Okay. And this right here, this collection of 6, like I told you, this one all the way over here, this cost me under $10. Okay. Actually, so did the small batch. These right here were like in the mid teens, and the full proof, when I found it the other day, it was $25, $24.99. Okay, so altogether, for $100, I got 6 different whiskeys, and so it's not really breaking the bank. And you got a nice setup here. Like if you were going to have something where some people were coming over and people that were interested in bourbon, or like I say, if you're interested in bourbon, this is a good way to get your idea of what these different things are. And you would know by the end of this, hey, do I like the stronger stuff? Is bonded where I like to be? Or maybe I like to be down here in the 90s. Okay? There's no such thing as bad whiskey. Okay? Now, have I had some that I didn't care for? Yeah. But was it bad? No. I mean, Lord knows, if it was bottled, somebody liked it, right? They didn't think it was bad. I'm never going to call a bourbon bad. I'm never going to call anything like that bad. Now, that's my opinion. I welcome yours. I don't think there's anything such as bad bourbon just because somebody's put their heart into it. Somebody loved that. Somebody said, hey, you know what? This right here, we're putting it out, and somebody's going to love it. But today, my friends, Benchmark, full proof. Benchmark, small batch. I love them. Y'all be safe out there. Make sure to check me out other times. My name is Paul, and we'll see you around. Y'all take it easy.